They ain't gonna see me if you ain't talking about. There we go.
Bro, this man, the absolute worst at everything. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? We're talking a little TNA Impact Wrestling. I guess kind of news. Everybody leaving. You know, if you listen to anyone, that's what they gonna say. You know, it's crumbling. It's going out of business. They ain't on it. I mean, that's what we came here to talk about. Basically, TNA is going out of business for the 16th time in 16 years. They've only been around for 15. Excuse me. But seriously, there are top talents leaving TNA. It's been reported that Matt and Jeff Hardy have already left. I think Mike Bennett and Maria Kanelis Bennett have left. Drew Galloway was another confirmed one. I think I heard Jade. If you know of any more that I don't know, please let me know. And I think that was the last one that I heard. But basically, from this is what I've heard through the grapevine / the internet, where I don't believe probably anything that I hear anymore. But basically, a lot of people are saying that TNA is trying to completely like rebuild, which like they're trying to get rid of these huge contracts of these big stars and trying to get people on more exclusive contracts. So then they can't just, if they want to just leave, which is smart, I think. Now you got to remember that the pay by appearance contracts came into play to save TNA money. That was the goal of those by Dixie Carter. But I don't know. I feel like what frustrates me, and this is just a personal thing, and this has kind of always just been my thing, is how much people are just overreacting to it. Like, first off, you can't control anything that goes on backstage. So you freaking out about it, saying, I'm never going to watch TNA again because all my favorite people left. Basically, you watch the show. You watch the show for good wrestling, no matter who's on the show. I could go watch Ring of Honor right now, and just because I don't know half the people on the roster, which I watch more Ring of Honor than I say I do, but just because, let's just say I first started watching Ring of Honor. I do. Shut up. Let's just say I just started watching Ring of Honor, right? And I don't know half the people, but if they put on a good show, do they not still put on a good show? Is that not a thing that they did? And like, I think it's funny because everyone's talking about how much money the TNA's lost and all of this, but no one mentions the fact that Lucha Underground has lost, 5 times the amount of money that TNA has? Like, in what 3 seasons? And I think it's like probably like 2 years, something like that. They've lost $10 million or something like that. Whereas, I mean, TNA's probably lost $2 to 3 million at the most, probably. I mean, they lost $2 million in the Hogan era, so whatever. But I don't know. I mean, I think, in my opinion, I'm not overreacting around these big. I hope I said Drew Galloway. I think I did. I can't remember right offhand. But he was also another one. I'm just not going to overreact about it, because as a fan, if we overreact about every single thing that we see on the internet, half the time it's not even true. And then second of all, like, you can't control it anyway. So either way, it's not going to matter to you. I feel like as a fan, if you actually truly care about the company and you're actually a wrestling fan, you're going to watch the company regardless. I think a lot of people, and I don't know how you feel about this, and as they usually do, when anything on TNA happens, new management, the lights go out one time, they play commercials on loop. Oh, it's going out of business, or some sort of just extreme overreaction. And I feel like that's like the whole consensus of fans over for TNA. I watched WWE, and I think like the sound was behind the show for like a solid 30 minutes to an hour, I think. I don't know if anybody else caught it, but I did. It wasn't this week. It was like a couple weeks ago. And no one batted an eye. But if this happened to TNA, the same predicament where for 15 minutes, or it could be as short as 15 minutes, the sound was a little bit behind the actual video, like, people would be like rioting. And it's ridiculous to me. Casey, initial thoughts. I'll probably talk some more about it, but I don't want to rant too much. I don't know. I just feel like wrestling fans are like really sensitive just towards TNA, and it's been like this their entire time, but still.
It's like they freak out too. It's not even just the big like names either. Like anyone leaves or is released from TNA,
Curry Man,
like people freak out. But friggin', some mid-carder gets released from WWE, nobody bats an eye. But it's like, I just don't know why they. It's almost like they want TNA to fail to give them a reason to be like, I was right. Like, and then
what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna sit there and they're gonna complain more about WWE and be like, I wish we had an alternative.
Yeah, I mean, and even when they complain that there's no alternative, there's hundreds of alternatives. Where do you think all these guys are gonna go after they're released from TNA? They're not just gonna stop wrestling. They're gonna go to Ring of Honor. They're gonna go to PWG. Some of them, if WWE picks them up, they're gonna go to WWE. Like, just be fans and support these guys. Like,
too, I think one thing, and I think Casey would agree with me on this point. A lot of these bigger names, especially, they want to go back to WWE. Like, I'm sure Jeff Hardy, especially more so than Matt Hardy, because Jeff Hardy kind of left. He didn't leave on his own. I don't think Matt necessarily left on his own either. But I know they want not only to be in the Hall of Fame in WWE, but they probably want one more run. Jeff Hardy came out and said he wants one more WrestleMania match. You got guys like Drew Galloway, who was treated like garbage the first time he came to WWE. I'm sure he wants to try and have a redo at that. I'm sure he wants to have a redo, at that. I'm sure Mike Bennett still, he might not be a fan of the management, but I don't know. It's so confusing because like you hear all these rumors and everything, but Mike Bennett apparently wasn't a fan of Dixie Carter either. So it's kind of weird. I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything because I don't listen to everything I read on the internet, and I write for a wrestling website, so I know some things, but like I also don't claim that I know everything. And with Mike Bennett, I'm very confused about his situation.
Yeah, it's and as far as the Hardys, I mean, there are strong like rumors and even some evidence that they might be going back to WWE with tweets going back and forth. I mean, even the other, I forgot when it was, but Matt Hardy finally replied to a tweet that Bray Wyatt put out. Like, so that's kind of maybe is a hint that they might be, which I think inevitably they are going to go back to WWE at some point to, be inducted in the Hall of Fame finally, to have that, last run. But I mean, the guys like Mike Bennett, I don't know, the whole story with, management and everything. And, I kind of, part of me is curious, but part of me just wants to be a fan. But, either way, he's going to get work somewhere else. We're still going to see Mike Bennett. We're still going to see Drew Galloway. I mean, even if Drew doesn't go back to WWE, all these other promotions love him and always have him on from Evolve. He's always on Evolve. He's always in different indie promotions all over. IC Dub. He's on there too. So I mean, we're gonna still see these guys. It's just, and I think just Impact is just going through a big change anyway. They're dropping TNA from their name. There's rumors they're going to put GFW in the name because that would be
and I think Jeff Jade is like kind of part owner again now.
Yeah.
And I think too, like I don't know, it's a weird situation because like trust me, I get it. The backstage politics and all that stuff, it's interesting. And like I mean, because without the internet, like I think life would be a little bit less interesting just because there's just so much going on with everything. Not only wrestling, just news and all this other stuff. But like I think it's definitely interesting, but I think sometimes as fans we just need to sit down and watch the show. Because you can't deny that TNA's been putting on, if not good, at least consistent shows, and doing a great job at it, in my opinion. And I feel like, regardless of the talent they've had, because they've had talent go in and out for the past 2-3 years, and like they've still been putting on very consistent shows.
Yeah, I think with TNA too, you know, it doesn't matter that they've had, and it's not even just the 2 years. That's kind of making it, you know, that's giving them the benefit of the doubt. For the past 16 years, they've had people in and out, going here and back and forth, whatever. But the one thing that we can say about TNA that we can't necessarily say about WWE is week in and week out, I can't remember a show that we kind of didn't really like. I mean, there's been shows that were kind of weren't the best, but we still weren't like, oh, that show sucked. There's a ton of shows with WWE that were like, oh, you know, SmackDown kind of sucked this week, or Raw kind of sucked this week. We don't really do that with TNA. Yeah. We don't really do that with TNA. It's kind of, you know, they put on a consistent show, and people just want to, you know, nitpick and, you know, oh, they're going out of business. They have really good creative and writing and good competitor, but they're going out of business. Like, why?
Yeah, and even at their quote worst point, which everybody brings up the Hogan era, they still do their best rating. Like, even if that's your worst point, I mean, I don't know if I can be mad at that. Like everybody's like, you know, that was probably your worst year, but you drew some of the best ratings you've ever had in life. Really? Like I thought that's how TV works. You want ratings?
No, you don't need ratings. Remember, you just need to get on a bigger TV channel.
But yeah, I mean, I just think like if you're a real fan, whether it be wrestling fan, TNA fan, whatever fan you are, if you're a real fan, just watch the show. Like like go ahead and, you know, catch up on your backstage politics, read my articles. You know, I actually reported on the Drew Galloway leaving thing, so that's pretty cool. But I don't know, like you know, read my articles or read someone's articles. You can read mine, I don't care. But like I definitely, I just feel like also watch the show. Don't come up to me talking about TNA 10 years ago and be like, you know, TNA sucked 10 years ago. When's the last time you watched it? 10 years ago. What? Like, you don't, like, no. Like, that's like saying the NBA sucks now. But when's the last time you watched it? I watched it 5 years ago. It's changed a lot since 5 years ago. I don't know. I mean,
that's like saying the Browns sucked 10 years ago.
Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
But anyway, that was your, I guess, your kind of report / reaction to the different TNA outlash again for like the 80th time. It feels like we just had
like a week for more.
Come back in a week. But yeah, just to revisit what the actual topic of the video was, I think it was Drew Galloway, Matt and Jeff Hardy, Mike Bennett. I heard Jade.
That's a big one right there, Jade, though.
Yeah, I was surprised about that one too. I don't think it's been confirmed, but that's what I heard. But like, there was a point where like on like the I guess the TNA chat that I was in, where like they were just pointing out the entire roster. So I don't necessarily know if that's necessarily true. I'll wait on a confirmation for that one. There was one more person I was thinking of.
Maria.
Yeah, Maria Kanelis. And I think they also said Cody and Brandy Rhodes, but I don't necessarily like Cody and Brandy Rhodes isn't that big to me because they were kind of just there sporadically anyway.
And Cody's in so many different promotions right now that I think he's focused mainly on New Japan right now because he's in the Bullet Club. So,
but anyway, I'm excited. I want to see what they're gonna do. You know, kind of in the future with the new management of Jeff. I'm gonna say Jeff Hardy, Jeff Jarrett coming back.
Jeff Hardy's the new man. Okay.
Guys like Bruce Pritchard coming back, John West, guys like that. You know, I'm excited. Like they're bringing back the old guys, but it seems like they're kind of in a rebuild as well. And that's kind of what everybody wanted too. I think when you really go back and think about it, you know that everybody wanted. Oh, we want to change the name. Well, when you change the name, you have to go through a rebuild. There's no way like to just keep the company going. You change the name. There has to be some sort of rebuild there. And just because TNA may be going in the complete extreme and maybe try to build up from the bottom up again, he'll be upset about it. But anyway, that was your, I guess, TNA Impact Wrestling update type thing about the recent stars being released / leaving, asking for their release, being granted their release or whatever. Please give us your thoughts on the different releases. If you comment TNA is going out of business, I might ignore you.
The one other thing is the issue with the tag team titles, because with the Hardys leaving, they wanted to, because their contract is up now, they wanted to come back on the next taping and relinquish the titles or give up the titles, but Impact doesn't want them on if they're not under contract.
Which I get, and I get that, and it's kind of a weird situation because I get Impact's point of view on that. Like, because if they're not under contract, they can say anything they want to. They want to bash the entire company. They could do that if they really wanted to, and the first taping is always live. So, like, I get that, but I don't know. I think it's kind of a weird situation to me. I think it would have been better for them to relinquish the titles in some form or fashion. Hashtag let the DCC take them off them. Yeah, I could do that. But like, I don't know. I think now it kind of makes you question, how are they going to get the titles off of them? Like, how is that going to happen? I don't know. Any thoughts on that before we leave?
I don't know.
It's definitely a mismanagement thing. Like, it's definitely I think it's definitely something you want to happen, but I think there is a gray area there.
I know Rebby was joking about melting the belts down and making like earrings or something like that, and I was like, she can do that. But I mean, you know what? Let the Hardys have them, and if you're really trying to build up a new company and, you know, come in with this new regime, just make new titles. We've had those tag team titles. I think those are the original ones. I don't think they've ever really changed the TNA titles, and I love them. But you know, why not? I got it. It's right over there. I got it. It's right over there. But yeah, why not? You know, bring in new titles.
Yeah, they're really going with this Impact Wrestling thing.
Yeah, they've changed every other title in the company except for the tag team titles at one point or another. So, you know what? Why not just bring in some new titles? You don't necessarily have to have the titles on every show. So if it takes a little while for them to actually make the belts, that's fine. You know, you don't necessarily have to have them on every show. But.
All right. But that was your kind of update on TNA and kind of the outrage from, I guess you call them the fan base. I don't know what you call them.
It's okay. Aaron Rex is still there. That's all that matters.
I mean, that's true. That's all that matters. But anyway, be sure to share the video with your friends, any TNA fans that may want to, you know someone else's point of view, know how people are reacting. And feel free to comment your reaction because I'm curious. I want to know. You can comment TNA's going out of business. Trust me, it's not like I haven't seen it. But be sure to share the video, give us a like, subscribe. Our social medias are down on in the description there below. Follow
Even our Spreaker.
Yeah, we are on Spreaker occasionally. So follow us on Twitter at ICW_podcast. I think most of our stuff is ICW_podcast. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, for the most part. So make sure you subscribe to all those before we go out of business.
Because it might happen. But anyway, we do hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button for us. We'll see you guys on the next episode of the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, which will probably be the TNA review, if I'm not mistaken. Then followed by the weekly WWE review, and then followed by the 6-pack. So check that out. We'll see you guys later. We do hope you guys enjoyed. This was a special edition of the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, and I mean always, an instant classic.
On the flippity dippity. Oh yeah.